Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I'm here with a ready-to-wear look pattern match up video. I know a lot of you really like these videos and I really like making them. I like researching them. Obviously this is all, sorry, I should have opened my tablet before. This is all stuff that I'm using for my own personal sewing and yeah, I think that it's just a lot of fun. So the reason that I'm doing this today is that I was kind of going through some of my Pinterest boards, pinning some looks that I can use, recreate with things that I already have in my closet, and then also figuring out if there were some looks that I was really passionate about making this winter that I do need new patterns for. Mostly I wanted to get my ducks in a row for possible Black Friday sales. I don't know if any of these patterns are going to be on any kind of sale. I haven't heard one way or the other. I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that there will be some kind of Black Friday sale. If not, I mean, I will probably purchase a few of these anyway, but I am crossing my fingers there's going to be some sort of Black Friday sales for some of these. But I just kind of wanted to get my ducks in a row because we will be with family and things can get chaotic. So if I have a list, that makes it really easy to, number one, not overspend, but also buying things that I have the intention of sewing up really soon. So I have 8 looks here today that I want to kind of go through with you. And I've used some Big Four patterns as well, some of the commercial patterns. I had a couple people ask, why don't you ever suggest, the Big Four patterns? And I have in the past. It's just that the past couple of times I've done this, I've probably gotten a little more independent pattern happy. Also, I want to say that there's not a whole lot of variation in pattern companies here, mostly because, and I said this again, I was looking for patterns that I don't currently own, and I kind of went down rabbit holes basically at a few pattern companies where a couple of these I have sewn things from and wanted to recreate or wanted to try a few more of their patterns, and then there's one company on here that I have not used their patterns yet, or a couple I guess, that I've not sewn up their patterns yet, but am really anxious to try some things out. So there's not a huge amount of variety of pattern companies here, but again, that's kind of why I like to sew from a whole bunch of different avenues. But it also helps me to keep focused for when I'm prepping these videos so that I'm not spending days and days and days, which would be very easy to fall into the rabbit hole of picking patterns to go with looks and stuff for you guys. All right, I'm not going to blabber on and on and on. I also, another disclaimer, still waiting on that Instagram to open up the hashtags so I can see who's submitted work from home module entries, work from home module sew along entries. I can see some, maybe I can see all of them, but I don't know for sure because there's still the disclaimer that's popping up. I don't know. Does anyone have a better idea? I mean, what if it's not until January 20th that, because it's because of the election that they are doing that? What if they don't go back to normal like anytime in the future? What do you guys think? Should I just have people email me submissions and just do Scout's honor that it was finished by the 31st of October. I would really like to pick the winner randomly and then go from there and just put things behind me, get you guys your prizes and move on. But let me know in the comments below. I'm just feeling really bad about it and really want to pick a winner, but I also want to make sure that everyone that entered is entered in the drawing. So anyway, I'm having a conundrum there. So yeah, let me know. What do you think I should do about that as well? Okay, let's get going. All right. The first look that I have pinned is this wonderful orange look. I love this so much. This is from Net-a-Porter. I love going on there and looking at things because number one, never in a million years would I be able to afford anything on that website. It's all designer things. And then I also find it oddly satisfying when I do find stuff on there and then I'm able to recreate it. And I'm like, wow, I just saved myself $2,000. Of course I didn't, not really, but there is some sort of odd satisfaction that's associated there with looking at the designer things. But I pinned this look and let's start with the pants. I'm not super crazy about the button detail on the front of the pants, it's a little too busy for me, but I do love the wide leg trouser. This is what drew me to this outfit. Number one, the orange. I am so all about orange. When I had my colors done back in January, I'm sorry, I do talk about that a lot. Orange is one of my really good colors of quite a few different shades of orange, which was extremely exciting for me because I was told my whole life I could not wear orange or mustards, both of which are in my colors that I actually can wear. So I've kind of just gone, I've just never worn them because I always thought I couldn't wear them. So anyway, and orange is a very much in color for this fall and winter, just in the ready-to-wear world, which makes me very excited. So yes, I was drawn to the fact that it was orange. I was drawn to the fact that it was a higher waisted flared jean. I'm gonna talk about that more in a second. And I really loved the proportion of the higher waist flare with the cropped wrap top. I thought that that was really fun, and I loved that it was monochromatic and an unexpected color being orange in this case. So I have picked two patterns. I may have already made this outfit up. I have really been interested in exploring, I've actually been wearing non-skinny jeans of late. Not that I will ever get rid of skinny jeans or skinny pants in my closet, probably ever, just because it's a very classic silhouette and something that I'll probably always have in my closet. But I'm just kind of over it right now. I mean, kind of, you know, like I just, not completely, I actually have a pair of skinnier pants that are on this list, but you know, I'm ready to explore some different leg options. And I love the look of a wide leg when I have a little bit of a heel on. So my oxblood boots, my suede boots that I recently got, I have a pair of kitten heel boots that are a leopard that I recently bought for the fall. All of those give me just a little bit of a heel and can make my legs look really long. And I use that in quotation marks. I'm only 5'2", so anytime my legs can look long, I will grab that. Now, proportionally, my legs are longer because I have a very short torso. So most of my height, being what it is in my legs. So sometimes I can even fool the eye of being somewhat long-legged, even though I'm not. When it all comes down to it. Anyway, I thought that it might be kind of fun to play with my proportion a little differently as well by doing the high-waisted and cropped. So almost highlighting the fact that I have a short torso. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of play with that and see. So the patterns that I've picked for this, for the wrap top, I actually went with this Gertie, hold on, I can't see. The pictures are really small on my screen. Come in. This is Butterick 6285. This is one of their Gertie patterns, and I love this wrap top. Now, I've made this one up, and it does come up short. I think it's gonna be fine with the high-waisted trousers. Because I have a short torso, so I don't think I'll have any issue with flashing any midriff. But I did sew this up on the weekly vlog, and someone had commented that they added a 4-inch band just to the bottom of the shirt. The way the pattern is, there's not like a lengthen and shorten line because it's kind of hard to explain, but the front and the back are all one piece, so there's no shoulder seam. It kind of wraps around, and then there's a center back seam, and then obviously the wrap, which makes it difficult to lengthen and shorten where you would need to. I bet you could do it if you probably finagled it. Anyway, it does come up short, but I think, again, with the higher waisted, definitely get away with it. And then, of course, you do those two in oranges, and or do it in an orange, and I think it's a pretty good, it's not a complete, what have I done here? It's not a complete match for the top. Obviously the top that is shown has like a nice wide sleeve and is kind of a chiffon fabric, it looks like. And it also has kind of a print on it. But I find wrap tops, well, I love wrap tops in any way, shape, and form. But obviously a knit one's gonna be very comfortable, and it's kind of a fun way to zhuzh up a t-shirt, basically. Instead of wearing a t-shirt, wear a knit wrap top, and it's just something different and a little bit different. So that's why I picked that pattern. And then for the bottoms, I went with McCall's 8007. I've also made these up recently. They're really good. This really spoke to me. They're very exaggerated, like a bell bottom, basically. Exaggerated flare. They get skinnier up at the top and then very fitted through the hips and the waist. High-waisted, some fun details with the pockets. There's patch pockets sewn on. A lot of seaming details on this pair of pants as well that make it give a lot of long lines, because there's a lot of vertical seams that go on these pants, which again creates a nice long line. And when you do anything in the same color, even if it's a unexpected monochromatic look such as orange on orange, you do create a nice long line for the eye to follow, which also makes you look taller and thinner. You know, the same way wearing all black or all white or whatever, you know, any column of color is good for that. So those were the patterns that I picked for that. Wish I could go through those. All right, look number 2. I think this is so chic. You guys know, after the great module Sew Along, I love a white on white moment. I love winter white. I think it is so classic, so beautiful. I mean, I don't really have, actually quite a few of these outfits, I don't necessarily have a place to wear them, but we're gonna make it work because I just want a beautiful closet. It's making me happy right now. But I loved this look. I loved the wide leg trouser. I loved the trench coat. I loved the complete monochromatic white look. There's a lot that I loved about this look. And actually, I already own 2 pieces from the Great Module Sew Along that I could definitely put into my, create this outfit. I just would need to make one other item. So the patterns I've picked for this are, the first one here is, what did I pick for this one? This is, okay, we won't do that one yet. Okay, so for the top on this one, I went with the Bond shirt by Itch to Stitch, mostly because I really love this shirt pattern. Now, the inspiration picture, she does have on a collared shirt, but you'll notice, and a lot of these looks are a collared shirt, and I really, really love the Liesl & Co. classic shirt, which is what I'm wearing, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit, just, you know, to have some variety. I really love the way that this shirt fits. I need to drop the darts just a little bit, but other than that, I really love this shirt that I made for my work from home module Sew Along. But I went with the Bond shirt by Itch to Stitch because I have made that up in a beautiful ivory silk. I wear it a ton. It is such a workhorse in my closet. And technically, just with my, my Kibby, which is a soft classic. I mean, I should, you know, sometimes these pointed colors can be a little too sharp for, you know, my soft, the roundness in my face or whatever. But I do love a good colorless button up like the Bond. I just think it's a nice deviation from your standard colored shirt. So I picked that shirt for this look, and also because I already own it. And already have made it up in an ivory silk. And then I've paired it with the Liesl & Co. Hollywood trousers. Also made those for the Great Module Sew Along back in the spring. I love these pants so much. I need to try them on actually. They may be a little big for me now because cutting out sugar this summer, I've lost 20 pounds. But they were also a wee bit tight, but I like my pants tight in the waist only because it anchors it, because my waist to hip ratio is so small. Even when I lose weight, I lose it pretty evenly between those two places, so I never get more waist to hip ratio, really. It stays about the same. But in order to keep my pants up, they really need to be anchored at my waist. So I kind of like to wear my waist a little bit tighter, so I may have to go in and do some tweaking to those pants. But I love this pattern. I've made 2. I made a wearable muslin out of a yellow linen that I can't wait to pull out this spring. And then I made it in this silk wool blend and then the ivory that I lined. They're just a gorgeous pair of pants, and I really like them with the Bond shirt. It's just a very classic look. And then for the trench coat, I picked Vogue 1650 1650. I bought this pattern as soon as it came out, and I have yet to make it up. I really, really want to do that this winter. In fact, I have a lot of coats and jackets on this list. I've said it before, I love to make coats and jackets. So that will definitely be happening, but I think it's a really good match for the inspiration. And I'm not sure if I have enough. I need to look through my stash, some inherited kind of winter white wools from my sewing mentor when I inherited her stash. In fact, I'm looking at some kind of ivory colored, I think it's a gabardine, wool gabardine, and I think I may even have some wool crepe in there too, which I think would both work for that Vogue jacket. And the Vogue jacket is lined, so you could very easily use a wool, and I think that just kind of classes up a lightweight wool, like a suiting weight wool, like a gabardine or a crepe, something along those lines. But I think it definitely could up the elegance factor for a trench coat, and just make it a really lovely lightweight layer. So maybe this may get pushed a little bit closer as we're going into spring a little bit. I think it'd be a really great as things start to warm up. I mean, obviously we're getting ready right now to go into when things are getting cold, but I think that could be a great transitional coat going forward. So I really, really now want to make it in a winter white. So I'm excited that I have finally picked what kind of fabric I'd like to use for that, and if I don't have enough of anything that's in my stash, we may have to do some shopping. You know, no harm in that, right? All right, my third look that I have here, again, going for a wider legged pant. I love the classic, number one, I love the color of these jeans, and I actually currently have a pair of jeans that match this almost perfectly. I love the big brown belt, and then I love kind of the monochromatic thing, kind of, that's going on between, or the tonally similar, the button-up shirt with the blazer here. This is a velvet blazer that this gal is wearing. Obviously the shirt is lighter, but it's in same tone, just a lighter version. In that kind of a mocha color or camel color, which I think it could have a lot of fun. So I have actually put, for the shirt on this, the classic shirt by Liesl & Co., which is what I'm wearing. And this is kind of the one I had in mind. I don't really have any plans to make a camel colored shirt like this, but I do have some cameled merino, and I don't think I have a cashmere. I think it's merino, one that I thrifted, a camel colored turtleneck that I think you could also play around with if I wanted to play with the colors a little bit more. But, and it's hard to tell, I'm going with that it's a chocolate brown, the velvet blazer. I've picked the Jessica blazer because it's my favorite blazer pattern, so the Closet Core Patterns Jessica. And I actually have some chocolate brown cotton velveteen that I really want to make into a blazer, which is what I was searching for when I was looking for these pins. And then that's definitely happening. I already have the fabric and everything and the lining fabric for that blazer, so that will be happening this winter. And it can be worn again with the classic shirt or a turtleneck or something to even kind of mix it up a little bit. And for the jeans, I picked M5894, which is what I'm currently working on in the sew along. If you guys followed my all the patterns that I went through in the new Itch to Stitch book So Beautiful last week, you will have noticed on some of the tops I was wearing the same pair of jeans, and I had a lot of comments on those. And yes, those are the sew along jeans. You got a sneaky peek of my M5894s. I love them so much. They're a nice wider leg, a straight leg though, not a flare. They're more of just a wider straight leg. They fit really well in through my hips and butt and waist area. Love them, and the color is like spot on for this outfit. So I could very easily recreate this one. So those are the patterns that I have picked for look 3. All right, look 4. What struck me the most about this, I think again, is the monochromatic, and it's an unexpected monochromatic. You're gonna see a trend here. I love this red though so much. Now I think, I really love it. Yeah, the warmer reds, it's kind of become my power color since the beginning of the year. It's a color red I didn't realize I could wear or that I loved so much on me, and it turns out I really love a bright, warm red on me. And actually I've got some red wool that I think I'm going to be somewhat recreating this, although I don't think I'm going to be using either of these patterns because I'm going to be using this picture as inspiration and then going my own way with it. Because I actually think I'm going to do a top and bottom instead of a dress, and I'm going to make the coat different too, but the red idea. I need red boots now too as well. There's a couple of outfits I have pinned where people are wearing red boots, and so I need a pair of red boots. You know, we'll see. But anyway, loved the tone on tone with this. Now, this dress that she is wearing looks to be a sweater dress to me, and it's got this nice big chunky collar, and it looks to be a loose-fitting dress that she has belted. Now, I picked for this one, hold on, I'm not going to remember the number, so let me pull it up here. Simplicity 9176. Now, it's got the nice big skirt. It has more of a mock turtle on this one, and it has the listed fabrics that are on this dress are actually quite a few wovens, but it also lists double knit and pontes. And I think that if you went with a thicker, stabler, more stable knit, you could omit that zipper in the back probably pretty easily. That's always been my experience when I'm using the knit version in recommended fabrics, is that I can, especially with a ponte, you can very easily get away with omitting that zip. But I just think that this dress is just gorgeous, the nice full skirt. I love the colors that they have on here, that they've made this dress up in. You could throw on the belt just like the inspiration picture. And if you really did want that chunky collar, it's just a matter of making it really tall, the mock turtleneck pattern piece, making it really tall so that it folds on over itself, and you could get that same slouchy look that the model or the person is wearing in the inspiration picture. Obviously doing this in kind of a cranberry or a warm red, something along those lines, color palette would be perfect. And then for the overcoat, I picked the By Hand London Romana coat. I thought that this was very spot on. It's a nice longer coat with the notched collar lapel. The one in the inspiration post is very like an oversized notched collar. So it can be up to you. I don't think I would choose probably although I like it on this gal, but I think I would go probably for the smaller notched collar that the Romana has, just because I am short. I mean, I'm small, and so sometimes that can overwhelm, like the big details can overwhelm my frame. But obviously, if you're taller and really want to rock the more exaggerated lapel, it's actually a pretty easy pattern hack to do. But I think that the Romana really is kind of the essence of that coat, and really you could make that whole outfit just by choosing, you know, the same color or tonally similar colored fabrics for that outfit. And find if anyone finds any red boots, red leather boots, whew, clearly need a pair. All right, on the red theme, here is look 5. I have been wanting to make a pair of leather pants forever, and as you all know, if you follow on the vlog, I found some faux stretch leather, pleather basically, from Joann's, and I have 2 yards of it. I'm staring at it. It's kind of a cranberry color faux leather, but it does have stretch. Again, this is Net-a-Porter. I love these wide leg pants. These are actual leather, but I also loved it paired with this unexpected pink top. I think that that is so beautiful. It looks like it's probably silk, but I love pairing colors that maybe when we were younger we're told didn't go together, like red and pink. I don't know that I want maybe a warm pink I could do up by my face, and I wouldn't mind it. It would have to be a very specific pink, just because I used to wear pink all the time when my hair was blonde, and it was fine, but when I went back to my natural hair color, I noticed that I really just don't like pink on me very much at all. It has to be a very warm pink, and it can't be too much of that blushy pink, because that ends up looking like my skin tone. So it's a very, it has to have maybe some coral kind of in there. It's a very delicate balance. Can't be too pale. So I probably couldn't wear this color that this gal is going on, but it could also be fun to do something that's in the orange family with the red. I think that that could be a fun color combination. So it wouldn't have to be pink and red. But for the top on this one, I have picked the classic shirt once again, just because I think I would really like to make it, number one, in a silk or drapier fabric. I think that that would just be really gorgeous. This is a rayon nylon blend that I've made this one out of, so it's got more body. But I would really like to make it in something pretty drapey, like a charmeuse or something along those lines. So that again is the shirt pattern that I have picked. This is the Liesl & Co. Classic shirt. And then for the bottoms, I went with the Liana Stretch Jeans by Itch to Stitch. I have made those, the pattern comes with 3 different leg widths. I have made the skinnier leg, in fact I'm wearing it right now actually, the skinnier leg or straighter legged, I think it's called the skinny, but it's really more of a straight, because her straight leg has a little bit of a flare at the bottom that I wasn't as crazy about. But then there's the flared leg, and I've made those. I did my stretch corduroys that I made for the Great Module Sew Along with that pattern. I love those. I feel like they really elongate the leg, and it's for a stretch fabric. Perfect for my pleather that I have here. And my pleather has like a very soft, almost like a faux suede backing, like a plush backing, so I think they'd be super comfortable as well. But man, I really, I think that that is what that pleather is going to become, a pair of Liana Stretch Jeans. I hope I have enough. Because of that flare, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times I can get pants out of a yard and a half, but because of that flare, and I want to make sure, I don't know, grain may not matter as much, you know, because it's not a suede, there's no nap. But I'll definitely be playing around with that to see. Hopefully I can get the Lianas out of those, because I think that that's what those need to become. All right, next look. This is the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. I love her style, and I have had this outfit actually pinned for the longest time. Monochromatic again. Sorry, for us shorties, I mean, Meghan Markle I don't think is short necessarily, but when you are short, and for anyone actually, but monochromatic just makes you look taller. And that's just always something that I'm trying to achieve. You know, sometimes I say forget it, I don't care if I look short, I am short. But you know, it's kind of nice to have some tricks up your sleeve in order to create illusions. But I love the monochromatic, number one. I love the color that she's wearing here. This like bottle green is just phenomenal. I love the skirt with the hip detail, because she is built very much inverted triangle, so she's got a very narrow hip, but broad shoulders. I don't have broad shoulders, but her hip, you know, waist to hip ratio is smaller as well. So a lot of times I can wear the same things on my lower half that an inverted triangle can wear, because I also have very little waist to hip ratio. So putting things on my hip to make them look bigger helps balance my upper body, my larger chest. So I picked for this one the Stanwyck skirt by Charm Patterns, which is Gertie's pattern line. I want this pattern so bad. I love the pencil skirt version here with that hip detail. I think that that would be very flattering on my body. And I do have a bottle green wool that I really want to use to make this skirt. Now, for the top, I don't have any fabric yet. For the top. So it's going to be a little bit of a game of finding a bottle green knit that would be beautiful for the sweater. But for the pattern, I have picked the Liesl & Co. Maritime Top. Now this is a t-shirt pattern. I own already a ton of t-shirt patterns, you know, with all sorts of different necklines. What I like about this is that it's kind of a boat neck, but it does still have a scoop in the front. I love my Pamela Patterns boat neck shirts that I have, but sometimes when I wear those through the day, they come up and touch my throat just enough that I feel like I'm constantly pulling them down a little bit, because it almost, not choking me, but I can feel it, you know. And I have a couple of thrifted shirts that I have bought that are kind of that boat neck, but they have a little bit of a scoop, and I find that to be a very flattering neckline on me. And it's very similar to what this Maritime t-shirt by Liesl & Co. uses. Obviously, I'm hoping that Liesl & Co. is going to have a Black Friday sale. I don't know if they are or not. I can't get that to open for whatever reason. Fine. But anyway, I think that that might be a very similar neckline to what I'm enjoying. I mean, I could do a rub-off pattern from what I have thrifted that I all know that I really like. But yeah, I'd like to try this t-shirt pattern out. Again, I've been very impressed with the 3 patterns of hers that I've made, and I'd like to explore those a little bit more. But I think the other thing, the Duchess is wearing a shorter sleeve shirt with this. I don't like short sleeves on me necessarily. I either want it sleeveless or I want it like 3/4 length. I don't know. Things can hit me weird in through my arm and then it comes across my bust. I mean, there's just, my bust is so big. I need to get like way above it or way below it. So I think that I would do a longer sleeve on this. And again, there is the challenge of trying to find a fabric that matches my wool, or at least is tonally similar. It does not have to match perfectly, but be tonally similar. I would love to do one in a silk jersey. Would that not be luxurious? Or actually, I have some of merino would be beautiful. And I have a turtleneck sweater that I've made up in merino from the fabric store. And I can get samples. So I may get some samples from them of a couple of their bottle green colors in their merino wool, because that might work. That would be just gorgeous. Okay, sorry, just thinking out loud there. Okay, look number 7. This is a look by Cezanne. I love this top. I'm gonna have to do some hacking to get it the way I want it. And I also love the very late 80s, early 90s jeans that she's got on here. This brings back so many of memories from my childhood. Also, the yoke on them within the pleat, it, number one, screamed a pattern that I immediately was like, oh my gosh, yes, I own the pattern. I've been wanting to make it up. This is perfect. And then okay, so we'll talk about the bottoms first. So for the bottoms, I have gone with McCall's, what's the number? 8045. I have also had this one since it first came out, just have not had a chance to make it up. And I think Minerva had, or they used to have a light wash, non-stretch denim available. And I think I would love to make those jeans up in that fabric. I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, it's not gonna have like the bleached effect where it's darker in certain places, but I think it would give a really cool line. And then for the top, now I was on there looking at a few of the other patterns, Liesl & Co. again, and I was like, I wonder if they have a more, because this is kind of a looser, this classic shirt, it's a little bit looser button-up shirt. I was like, I wonder if they have more of a fitted one, and they have a shirt on there called the recital shirt. And so I opened it up to look at it closer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had not noticed the beautiful collar detail on this shirt. It has like a stand-up collar with a little ruffle on it for one of the views, and then it's got a really pretty, almost a tuxedo pin tuck type for another one of the views. Her patterns also come in cup sizes, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of. So what I decided was I could use, because this Cezanne shirt has kind of like a lot of ruffles. It has some ruffles going on over here too. I'm not big on the ruffles anywhere else. I've got to be careful with that because I don't want a lot going on my chest. I'm going to use a printed cotton lawn for this shirt, and I'm going to make the shirt per the instructions. It's got, I think it's a princess seam line actually for this shirt, but I'm going to hack the sleeve. And I'm basically just going to take the sleeve pattern that comes with the shirt, and I'm going to cut up to the sewing line at the sleeve cap and just spread it. So I won't have to gather anything into the arm's eye because I'm keeping that sewing line the same, but I'm adding a whole bunch of fullness, which of course is going to add a ton of fullness at the bottom of the sleeve. And instead of putting a cuff on it, I'm just going to hem it and then shear it so that it creates a sheared cuff. The fabric that I'm planning on using is a lightweight, it's a Liberty Tana lawn, so it's nice and lightweight, so I think it should shear beautifully. You know how I feel about shearing, love it. So it'll give it kind of that more balloon sleeve, but instead of going into a cuff, it will go into that sheer, and then I'll have a little bit of a ruffle, just a little bit. I don't, you know, just from where the shearing has stopped around the cuff of the sleeve, that I think is gonna be really, really cool. So I'm very excited to try that out as well. All right, look number 8. So I pinned this one, and mostly I'm obsessed with this jacket. I do not have any, I have a lot of plaid coating weights, especially some that I inherited from my mentor Joyce, but I want something loud like this, and I would love something in a bright color. I said this last time, and so many people were about orange Melton, and so many people like jumped to it. My fabric budget just is not there right now. I've got to pull it back until maybe some Christmas money comes in. But I'm going to be on the lookout for a bright plaid coating because I really want this coat now. And this obviously is what shines. For this coat, I've picked the Waffle Patterns bamboo coat. I think it's spot on, nice and straight. I talked about Waffle Patterns. I kind of refound them recently. I've not made anything of theirs, but I really want to try some of their things. And I actually have quite a few of their coats earmarked if they're doing any kind of Black Friday sales. So fingers crossed they do something because there's quite a few I would like. But I went with that pattern. I think it would be perfect for that kind of coat if I could find the right fabric. This one's going to be all about the fabric. So I'm going to be on the lookout for a really bright plaid, preferably something with oranges because we all know how I feel about oranges. Kind of very similar really to what this gal is wearing. And then for the shirt, she actually looks like she's wearing kind of a work shirt underneath this. I think it would be super fun to take the Montana shirt by Itch to Stitch because it has a straight hemline, which is very similar to what's going on in this picture of this gal, doing it in a lightweight denim, and then doing snaps up the front as opposed to buttons, just for something a little bit different. And the Itch to Stitch Montana also comes in cup sizes, so I love that. Actually, and there's also a view on that one where you could make a tie front shirt. Obviously, I think I would do the straight hem because that's what this gal has. And then she's just wearing it with dark jeans. I didn't pick a jean pattern. I mean, we've talked enough about pants. Really, any dark jean pattern. You could do a skinny leg, and I can't tell what she's got on. If she's got a flare, a skinny, wide leg, I can't really tell. It looks to be somewhat fitted in the top, but yeah, any jean pattern. But I think it's a dark, lightweight denim would be so beautiful in that shirt. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for something like that. All right, guys. There you have it. 8 looks and the patterns that you could use to recreate them. Now, am I going to be recreating all 8 of these? Probably not, just because of time. But I also have a few things that I've pinned that I do plan on doing some more sew the looks for in the coming time. I know a lot of people really enjoy seeing those as well when I do actually create the outfits and do the sew the looks. So yeah, I've got a few others that are pinned that I'll probably be doing, you know, interspersed here and there as we go throughout the winter, like I do normally. But anyway, I hope this was inspirational. Maybe you've added a few things to your own Black Friday shopping list. Again, I don't know who's having Black Friday sales. I'm just really hoping for the best. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday and that you're able to get in some sewing time this weekend. Thank you all for being with me today. I will see you Sunday for another M5894 sew along. We're doing the backs, so something to look forward to. I will see you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.